Good afternoon. SGA, you hear it all over the place. Sometimes it's a little confusing. It stands for Substantial Gainful Activity, SGA. So we've got substantial and we've got gainful. So if you look at the SSA site, when they gave us a little definition to help us understand, work is substantial if it involves doing significant physical or mental activities or a combination of both. That would make it substantial. It is gainful if it is worked for pay or profit. If it is work that is of a nature that would generally be performed for pay or profit, you're just not getting paid the way people normally would. That could even be volunteer, technically. Or if it's work that's intended for profit, whether or not your profit is realized. And that would probably be referring to self-employed people. Been there, done that, where you're working your butt off to make your business grow and you're not even able to take any kind of pay because it's like sweat equity. You're putting all the work in, hoping it'll eventually become a profitable enterprise. So you're not getting paid, but you're doing substantial work, and it's gainful because the effort you are doing, would be for the profit that would be anticipated. Okay. And usually that kind of work is the stuff that if you did it out in the general market for a company, they'd be paying you. Okay. It is one of the very important terms that you have to know about when you're filing for disability. First, it's going to be used to determine what your alleged onset date's going to be. So, people sometimes have in their mind that, well, I became disabled from this accident, or when I got this disease, that's when my world started really deteriorating. That is not necessarily your alleged onset date, because if you were earning SGA at that time, then that cannot be your alleged onset date. So you have to pick some date after that, right? I should add that SGA, in addition to that definition, has a kind of like a black and white amount, and it changes every year, almost every year with COLA. So if we have a change in COLA, then SGA is going to go up accordingly. So it'll either go up, which it typically does, or it will stay the same. It's not going to go down. So in 2023, it's 1470. Okay. So if you are going to file for disability, you cannot be working SGA. Okay. When you file. Now there's another video on attempting to work and how you can do that at times and not necessarily destroy your claim. I'll try to tag that at the end. I think they let me put buttons in. So SGA helps you pick out your alleged onset date. Now, I say alleged because the SSA may disagree that you did not become disabled on the date that you allege. It could be because you're doing SGA. It could be you weren't doing SGA, but they did the medical workup and they don't find that you had enough evidence to show that you couldn't do all jobs of substantial numbers in the regional or national economy, which is what they have to find. So if you are if you are filing and not working SGA, and then you've got a claim rolling on, SGA will come up later if your work, they'll be checking it to make sure it doesn't go over SGA at any given time. If it does, there are implications that can be had. It doesn't necessarily destroy your case if it's very temporary SGA, but it's going to have implications one way or another, which would include a subsequent potential trial work period and one of the 9 months in there. There's videos on trial work period. SGA will affect you after you've prevailed on your case if you're working part-time, because of course you can never be working full-time, right? So after you won your case and you're receiving benefits, SGA is critical to know. Again, you have the black and white number, but if you're volunteering and doing activities that you should be paid for, or if you're self-employed and just not pulling a check and the spouse is pulling the check, things can look a little suspicious, and the SSA can get a little skeptical and want to know more about that self-employment and make sure you're not actually working above the special limits for self-employment. Okay. SGA, substantial gainful activity. We are not disabled under the law if we can engage in SGA on a sustained basis. Okay. So I hope that helps explain what SGA is. All right. Take care.